Hey, how's it going? This is Working Class Rich. My name is Starsky DeBerry. Today, we're going to be doing another reaction. Bad financial advice. Something that the working class, middle class needs to hear because it's always some Ponzi scheme, some little jolt that seems to shake the money out of our pockets. Man, so this particular reaction hits home for me, and I think it'll hit home for you. Let's listen to it. You're going to hang out with me for about 25, 30 minutes, and then we're going to see how we can relate and also how can we avoid when we see those signs. Hey, let's get into it. All right, here we go.
The worst financial advice you've ever heard?
Move to New York City. After you take cash out, it doesn't count as money because you already took it out.
Buy low, sell high. There is always a high to the low and a low to the high.
Opening up a credit card line when you're working a minimum wage job and you're in college debt.
What's the worst piece of common financial advice that you hear? I'll go first. You need to carry a balance on your credit card in order to build credit. That's absolutely false. I have never carried a balance on my credit remains great. What's the worst that you've heard?
I'm seeing a lot of financial gurus spouting trash financial tips and money advice. Here are 4 things these hustlers are not telling you. Day trading. 85% of people lose money in the long term. I hate to break it to you, you will not be the exception. Debt. It's not evil. You do not need to be 100% debt free. I'm not. I have a mortgage. In fact, every rich person you know, your favorite celebrity, probably bought their house with a mortgage. Because if you can borrow money for cheaper than what you can make with it, you've created a money printer. When poor people borrow money, we call it debt, but when rich people borrow money, we call it leverage. Starbucks is not the reason you can't afford a house. If you cut out a $5 latte every day, in a year, you'd save $1,825. You can't buy a house with that, but you could buy something cooler than coffee. And last, you should not cancel old credit cards. It will shorten your credit history and it will ding your credit score. Just downgrade the card instead.
The only way I would suggest you do this is with cash, which means you've got some saving to do with your career before you move on.
LOL. Save up enough money in cash to go buy a deal in cash and then pay for your renovation in cash. That is the worst financial advice ever. There's no wonder to me why people are taking Dave Ramsey's advice and then not actually retiring. They're sitting there still working through their 60s, still working through their 70s because they took horrible advice. You ever heard of the velocity of money? This is horrible advice. Horrible advice. What you do is you get non-recourse money. So you get a hard money lender and you get a private money lender where if there's money that gets lost on a deal, those lenders just take the house back and it doesn't actually affect your credit. It's called a hard money lender. Dave Ramsey, go get a hard money loan or get somebody on your show that actually knows what the hell they're talking about.
Say, I would never take financial tips from Steve Harvey. Motherfucker go talk, man, that rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. Well, what the fuck you sleep, Steve? 7 hours? 6 hours? Cause ain't no fucking way you talking about you don't fucking sleep. Ain't no way you going to sleep at 12 at night and waking up for 3 in the morning every fucking day. You hear me? Just say what it is. Y'all on fucking drugs. Y'all on coke to stay up to be successful. And then he got the nerve to say, if you want to save money, what you do is when you get paid, put this to the side, this to the side, that to the side, that to the side, and then 20, 10 years, you gonna have this. First of all, Steve, we living in a fucking place to where when this check comes, this check is gone. When you see your check, the bill see the check. That shit is gone. Nobody got no time to save. You still got to eat. You still got your habits. You still got kids. You still got wants. You gonna talk about it? Save? Nobody got millions of dollars like you. Kevin Hart gonna say the same thing. Take every time you get paid, take 25%, put it to the side, use 75%, go do. Nobody got money like that like y'all. Just like y'all was struggling back in the days, people still doing that shit. Y'all found the way out. That's y'all way. It took y'all about 20-something years. And it wasn't from saving. Motherfucker, that was from because y'all found gigs. Y'all went to the right club with the right managers that was there. Dame Dash found Kevin Hart. You hear me? Some old school cat found Steve Harvey. Stop acting like y'all got successful by not sleeping, because from my knowledge, y'all was in the club at nighttime doing comedy. You heard me? Stop acting like I hate successful tips from successful people because it's nothing. Y'all talking about save a percentage of what we don't have. Y'all got $100,000 and y'all gonna tell us we all breaking up $100,000 to make this. Motherfucking nigga got $1,000. I don't like these celebrities. I didn't even say these celebrities because it's a lot of black celebrities. I try to learn from black celebrities, but they don't give you no right path. You heard me? They lucked up on some luck. That's what it is. Like, they was in the right place at the right time, ran across the right people. That's what it is. Stop acting like they were sleepless nights to where, you heard me, they weren't successful. They didn't sleep. And then you're successful, so how the fuck you can't sleep? Last time I was told when you make money sleeping is when you actually at your best. You hear me? So stop acting like motherfucker don't gotta be deprived of sleep to be successful. Cause y'all ain't nothing but cokeheads out there in Hollywood, Steve. Like, we just gonna keep it a buck. Like, y'all ain't nothing but cokeheads and drug heads. You know what I'm saying? And y'all use that shit to stay up. Nobody trying to use no drugs to stay up and struggle. You heard me? Nobody got no opportunities out here. You heard me? Like, y'all gotta, man, bring that shit down. Bring that shit down to $100. Y'all talking about if you got $10,000 do this. Nobody got $10,000 sitting around. You hear me? That's my thing, though. Because every time I see financial advice, it be the stupidest shit ever. That shit ain't gonna help me. Telling me to save money that I don't have to save, that's not helping me. They giving you tips if you got money to lay around. No, what the fuck is we coming to y'all for financial tips for if y'all telling us what to do once we become successful?
Let him cook.
What's one of the dumbest pieces of financial
cook.
advice you've heard on this app? Take two. Life insurance will make you rich. I hate to break this to you, but life insurance makes other people rich after you die. Think about it. If you want to increase...
How much money do you think you need to retire?
How much money? A lot.
That's not a number. How much money do you think you need to retire?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. How are you going to do the fire movement if you don't have a number set?
You do it for me?
Yes, to prove that's stupid, that's what you're saying.
So I'm not going to be able to retire?
Are you kidding me?
In 10 years?
Buddy, you have $0 in retirement.
Okay, but when I start making good money, then...
How much money do you think you could live off on a yearly basis? Give me that number.
I want to travel a lot. I don't know, like 30K.
How are you going to travel a lot with 30K? Unless, again, you're living on a van, but you hate that.
No, I'm going to have a paid off. Not paid off, but I'm going to have like tenants, you know, house hacking. Have someone pay my housing and my bills.
So you're saying you're also going to get a house? And save up?
No, the rental properties. What?
It's a shame that it's a lot of people actually think that. They think it's that easy to get from where you are right now to where you don't have to worry about money. You can go where you want. You can do what you want. People think that is a short path, but you're going to be deeply, deeply disappointed.
What's the worst financial decision you ever made in your life?
The worst financial decision I made was I bought a real expensive car and I didn't even have a house. People, do not spend more than $80,000 on a car and you don't even have a house, because the car depreciates the moment you take it off the lot. Invest in stocks, invest in real estate, save your money. That's how you do it. That was my worst decision.
Okay, what car was this?
It was a Dodge something. I can't even remember what it was.
Charger?
Yeah, it was like something like that. Yeah, real expensive car, wasn't worth it, bad investment.
Okay. And then what's the best piece of finance advice you ever gotten before?
I think the best piece of finance advice, number one, learn how to balance basically your finances. Very important. Don't spend more than you make. As a matter of fact, every time you get your paycheck, at least take 1/3 of it and put it aside. Very important.
Oh, okay. And then last question, hypothetically, if I were to give you $100,000, what would you do with it?
If you gave me $100,000,
great question.
I would be trying to either put it into an annuity, I would try to invest maybe in real estate, and I would probably invest some of it in maybe stock, something like that, like Apple or Amazon, something that I think is going to give me a really good return.
Okay, are you currently invested in anything right now?
So currently, I do have a brokerage account. I do have a 401k, savings. Basically, my plan right now is I want to be able to retire by the age of like 50. That's the goal.
Okay, this man on his stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir, man.
What would be your answer if somebody
I've been
asked
seeing
you?
Dave Ramsey a lot in the news, and I think it's a really good time to talk about what a lot of financial influencers get wrong when it comes to financial advice and why you shouldn't follow most of them. So most financial advice that you'll see online, whether it's like a news publication or even through like a financial guru, it's one size fits all advice. It's overly simplistic, it lacks nuance, it doesn't often completely apply to your financial situation. In the case of Dave Ramsey, his advice is very rigid and doesn't take into account everyone's individual circumstance. And personal finance is so personal. And any advice that someone's giving is not taking into account all of the emotions and beliefs and behaviors that are intertwined with money. Advice is too rigid or simplistic or shame-inducing even. It can often lead to really negative outcomes like avoiding your money issues or having anxiety over it or even just making poor decisions. And that's why I think a lot of these financial gurus can be wrong, but often even dangerous. And I'm not saying don't look up personal finance stuff online. I think learning about money is really helpful and I think everyone should do it. But I think you should take all of these financial influencers or financial gurus, whatever, their advice with a grain of salt. And I think it's important to understand the psychology behind your own financial decision making so you can be better informed when hearing other people's advice. 9 times out of 10, these people don't know you. They don't know your personal situation. They don't know what's
That's the
actually
video,
best for
not
you.
me.
And in some cases, they're pushing a product or a service. So that's why with any financial advice you receive, you should make sure it aligns with your financial goals, personal values, all of that.
I just saw an influencer post a video filled with
Nice.
financial advice that actually had a ton of misinformation. So as a business journalist that brings you information that is vetted and sourced rather than aggregated, I wanted to tell you some things to look out for that could be red flags for the financial content that you're consuming on social media. Number one, influencers who use their net worth as an example of their expertise. First of all, there's no way to know if it's true. Like, we have no way of knowing whether an influencer who says their net worth is $10 million is actually telling us the truth. But second of all, net worth is not equivalent to expertise, especially in finance. You could have invested in GameStop and made millions of dollars and gotten out at the right time, and I would say that you were very lucky. That doesn't mean that you have the finance chops to be able to give people advice on the internet. But number two, an even bigger red flag, is that they're giving financial advice in the first place. Anybody who is licensed or trained knows that you are not allowed to give financial advice on social platforms. And that's why you often see influencers who are trained having a little disclosure that says that this is education and not financial advice. Because everybody's financial situation is unique and different and has different factors to consider, and all of those things need to be taken into account when considering what is the right financial path for you. Because licensed people know that broad financial advice is not going to be right for every single person. Lastly, figure out how they are getting their information. Have they gotten a financial license that they had to give up to post on social media? Have they become a certified financial planner or a financial advisor? Figure out where they're getting their information from and make sure that they're not just getting their information from ChatGPT by asking it how to make a viral TikTok about financial advice. This is in no way meant to be shade to influencers who have made a ton of money talking about making a ton of money. It is just meant to protect people on this platform. I've made other videos about licensed professionals who you can follow if you want to do that. And of course, if you want to stay up to date on business news that is sourced, not aggregated, be sure to follow me for more.
Yeah, that chat GPT, man, is definitely becoming a crutch for people who wasn't a critical thinking in the first place.
Okay, I need to make this video, but I might delete it because I feel like someone is going to say that it's controversial. I keep seeing videos of these TikTok, like, girly pop influencers who are like, I made $300,000 last year, and like, look at my Porsche truck, like, follow me for more financial advice. And I'm actually specifically not stitching these girls because, like, I don't want anyone to feel bad or like feel like I'm attacking them, because I'm not. I'm just saying, like, for everyone else who's not them, don't fall for it. If you made $300,000 last year, you should not be spending a third of your money on a car. That is unnecessary, completely unnecessary. If you're lucky enough to be making enough money that you can put away for something like big, how about investing it? How about not spending a third of your money? And we don't even know if she's making gross or net 300K. If she's making gross 300K and she's spending 100,000 on a car, I can't. Not in 2024. We have to be financially literate. Like, we have to at least think a little bit about the future and not be like wasting money and then trying to get financial.
5 big red flags of influencers. If someone calls themselves self-taught or a money expert, red flag. Learning on your own is great, but personal experience is not the same as professional expertise. Would you trust a self-taught surgeon? Probably not. Anyone promising you guaranteed investment returns or some secret wealth building trick is lying. If there was a secret way to get rich, they wouldn't be selling it to you on social. If they're constantly saying things like the market's gonna crash any day now or 401ks are a scam, they're just trying to get views. A good financial plan is based on facts, not fear. Being good with your own money doesn't automatically qualify someone to give good financial advice. Look for someone who has actual credentials like the CFP, the CFA, a CPA, because a bad money decision is going to cost you way more than a bad haircut. If their main selling point is their lifestyle, cars, yachts, luxury vacations, they're making money off you, not their investments. At the end of the day, real financial advice should be boring, realistic, and backed by experience. Be careful out there and follow finfluencers who have credentials and a ton of client experience.
So my theory is that a lot of influencers...
So I say, do your own research, really think through who you listen to, you know, and if it sounds funny, it's probably funny. You know what I mean? It probably thinks in the end, you know, so stay safe.
Are actually rich before they even became influencers. And so they show this great lifestyle, they get a lot of views, all of these things, make it seem like they made all this money from TikTok or whatever. But really, they either are from like Orange County, have rich parents, got their house given to them, have a husband who has a really good job. Like, not many people make that much money from being an influencer. So I think sometimes people need to stop trying to influence other people to be influencers. Because I know a lot of girls from high school who are from Orange County, whose mommy and daddy bought them a house, whose mommy and daddy give them money, and they portray this life as if they've become like a self-made millionaire, but it's actually that they're still funded by their parents. So it's just something to think about, that just because someone has a lot of followers on TikTok or posts a lot of videos or gets some brand deals doesn't mean they're making 50 grand a month. And there's something to be said about having like a 401k, health insurance, HSA account. Like, there's so many things that you don't factor into when you try and like start to do your own influencing thing. And like, how long term is this going to be? Like, go off and do your influencer thing. But like, we've seen with Hub's life, that one guy who like posted about his life at work and then quit his 9-to-5, now everyone hates him. It's just like so interesting to see. There's just so many things that go on behind the TikTok curtain, especially when it comes to like finances, that you just don't think about. Like, it's not everything it appears to be.
So this is probably going to make you mad.
If you're a guy in your 20s and you don't have a Lamborghini, you should actually sit down and have like a serious discussion with yourself as to why you don't have a Lambo. Yep. Because I realize now that it's so incredibly easy and there's so much money out there. 200 grand is chump change.
Joke's on you, buddy. I don't need a Lambo to show everyone I'm insecure. And I'm about to blow your mind. Are you ready for this? I am super duper psychic, and I am predicting that he is selling a course that claims it's going to help you get rich. Oh, look at that. There it is. Only $797. And I'm not picking on this guy specifically, he's whatever. But it's that these finance influencer bros are predictably the same. Always selling a course on drop shipping or NFTs or whatever the flavor of the month is to get you to pay money for their advice. But here's what they're not telling you in these courses. It's vaguely a pyramid scheme, and they're at the top of the pyramid. And the flashier they are, the more full of shit they are. No one ever got rich off someone else's get-rich-quick course.
You know, I just want to share this. You know, I lost a lot of money following different people who had courses and different things like that because I didn't vet them. I really didn't value my everyday, day-to-day job. And I didn't see that job can actually get me where I need to go. It'll just take longer, you know? So I had this greed, you know, this covetousness where you feel like, you know, I should be moving faster. And whenever you get that desperate, all of a sudden the grifters show up and they got a course for you that can waste even more of your time.
I think anybody making under $100,000 a year that is deeply unhappy should quit and garage sale 52 weeks a year. Goodwill, garage sales, eBay, easy 100,000.
Wow.
Give yourself 3 months to really learn the game. Every thrift shop. Are you kidding me? Free money. Dead serious.
Jesus Christ, we got employees here, Gary.
Really, Gary?
I don't
Really?
know how you guys could even live on that number. If I made 400 grand a year, I would be embarrassed with myself as a husband, a father, basically as a human being. 400 grand. How do you make sense of $35,000 a month. You have not done the math because you cannot live on 400 grand a year. Anybody can make 400 grand a year. All you got to do is show up.
You've seen the sell me this water interview question before. Here's how to nail that interview question every single time. The problem is that most people will start by talking about the benefits of the water. It's cold, it's refreshing, it's from this particular spring in wherever. Stop. It's way simpler than that. It actually has nothing to do with the water, and it has everything to do with the person that you're selling it to. All you have to do is start asking questions. The first question being, are you thirsty? If the answer is yes, then you're in. But if the answer is no, you got to dig a little bit deeper. Remember the last time you were really thirsty? Really make them relive that moment, because you're selling them more than just the water. You're selling them relief from that memory. The key point is basically listen. Understand the needs of the person that you're selling to. You're not offering them water or hydration. You're offering them a solution to their problem. And that's actually how you sell literally anything. Make it about the...
If you have $100, get your ass to the dollar store, to Craigslist, to the Goodwill, Salvation Army, go to the flea market, garage sales, because the most guaranteed way on earth that I know to make $100 go to 1,000 and 1,000 to go to 10,000 is to go to yard sales, flea markets, buy for $1 or $2 and sell them on eBay for 20. It's real. You can do it with t-shirts, stuffed animals, video games, toys, and all sorts of random how real this is. Now, every time I put out this content, someone's like, you, Gary Vee, it costs $28 in gas to go to these places. I'm like, no dick. I know the business expenses happen, but I'm gonna say it again. You buy 30 items at $1 and they're all $10 and you make 300, 400, 500 with eBay fees. People are like, what about the shipping? You charge the client for shipping. That's how you sell on eBay. What about the eBay fees? You pay the fees. What about the gas? You pay the gas and you still left with $200-300 on the weekend. The people that complain and don't want to do, they spend $200 on a weekend buying $34 margaritas.
That's exactly what it is.
Instead of waking up at 7 a.m. and going to make $300.
The easiest way to make $1 million is buy something that's $10 million, buy it for 8, and you sell it to somebody else for 10. There you go, you made 2. You don't have to do anything, you just buy something that's worth a lot and sell it to someone for a little bit more. How do you think guys make $1 billion? They buy something that's $10 billion and they sell it for 11, they made $1 billion. That's how that kind of money is made. They're not making it, they're arbitraging value.
We've reacted to videos where somebody said, just buy low, sell high. That's all you have to do to be rich.
That easy.
That's just madness. That's not the way wealth creation actually occurs.
Clearly, that's not how wealth works. That's not where wealth comes from. It's really hard to start out at $8 million.
Yeah.
The way that you save your first $100 is you have to save your first $100. And same thing with 10,000, 100,000, million, and so on.
Hey, that's it right there, man. We got through it. Listen, I hope you got something from this, man. Listening to these things as I react to them, you know, I realize a lot of these grifters, man, a lot of these pitches I fell for many times in my life because I didn't learn the lesson, you know, when I should have learned the lesson. So I wasted a whole lot of time, you know, thinking about, you know, how to find the right words to manipulate a person to do what you want them to do. You know, it's like sales should be a simple process. It's a simple thing when you find people that want to buy something. Nobody has to sell necessarily anything to somebody at a grocery store. They're at the grocery store because they want food. They're at the fast food place because they want food. Not very much manipulation, but I thought that was the path to success, and I've knocked on doors, I've done all of that and got chased off, you know, because I believe these grifters, man, you know, and it was just bad financial advice. So listen, if you're caught up in any of those things, let me go ahead and save you some time. It's going to take time for you to get to where you're going. There's a time to be the tortoise and there's a time to be the hare. And for most of us, we're going to be mostly the tortoise, 1 foot in front of the other. And all of a sudden you're going to look up, you got good credit, you got a savings account, you got a great job, great reputation, but it takes time, man. So listen, don't rush yourself. If you've made a mistake, no judgment, just get up, let go of that nonsense and just put yourself on the right road, man. You got everything and what it takes. Listen, this is Starsky Inspires, man. This is Working Class Rich. This is our reaction videos to the things that affect middle class, working class people. And I hope I showed something, did something that really triggered your mind to question, are you doing the right thing right now? Because you don't have a lot of time to waste, and you're smart enough to see a thief when it's coming. Hey, I'll see you next time on the next video. All right, goodbye.